Welcome to blondeandcrossbones.com. I'm Juliet Huddy. That's Don Jameson, the crossbones of my blonde. Mm-hmm. And look who's here.
Ice.
The legend. The legend.
The
man.
T.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we are striving to do with this is bringing rock and metal to the mainstream. But you've already done that. So
It's whatever sounds good to your ears. I like all kinds of music, so I don't just listen to metal. I don't just listen to hip hop. I mean, if you come to my house, it's like you think you walked into a spa. I have all this ambient music playing. I like old school music from like the Delphonics and the old, Motown stuff. So I think different music matches different modes you're in or moods you're in.
Yeah, it's like clothing.
Kinda.
Sometimes.
Well, you don't put on Public Enemy to try to mack your girlfriend.
Well, actually, some of us do like it. Moving right along.
True.
But it's the same. It's also the same, though, I think, with Body Count, because I've been a fan since the first record, and I'd seen you perform live on that tour. Yeah. But there's certain times, right, in history where Body Count really makes an impact.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is that I feel music happens in climates. And at different climates, when we first came out, we came out around the time, after us came Rage Against the Machine, Korn, all these different types of music, but it matched the vibe. Recently, we've been kind of like in a very laid back, almost delusional state, in a way, because Barack Obama is such a laid back president. We could be at war. He's like, okay, everybody, it's all good. Everybody, take it easy. The man never got excited and stuff. But now in the last year with the presidential race, the world has become very nervous. With this election, everybody's scared, like all of a sudden. So this climate has come back, and the music will react to that. So, I in a way, if we don't make America great again, we might make music great again.
Yeah. Well, we've already got No Lives Matter. Let's talk about your little baby. It's going to be coming out March 30th.
Yeah.
Or 31st, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
This is it. It's Body Count, Bloodlust. Take a little quick look at it. Tell us a little bit about this, and you've already received, you've had some controversy over the No Lives Matter thing, basically, spinning off of Black Lives Matter,
right.
All Lives Matter movement. Give us your summation of kind of what this whole thing is about.
Well, honestly, truthfully, we really didn't have any controversy. I mean,
people might not understand what you're saying when they see that Lives Matter thing.
Yeah,
and
maybe the clickbait, maybe the fact that
right,
the
yes.
title, but once they hear the record, they go, okay, makes sense. So my thing was first the Black Lives Matter movement came out, and people thought that was a statement of power, but really it's a statement of distress. It's like saying, come on, man, our lives have to matter. So certain people in America, all lives matter, and I'm like that's like saying somebody that have HIV and they're saying people with AIDS lives matter, and I go all lives matter.
It's reductive. It's taking the impact out of the point.
Right.
The principle.
If you were saying women's rights and I go human rights, you're like women's rights, man. This is what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So I said that's why can Black Lives have a moment, right? But then I take it one step further and I go, really, when you get to the bottom of the game, we're all collateral damage when it comes to money, when it comes to power, when it comes to the perpetual war that they love, so the arms dealers can make their money. So we're going to take it a little further. If you're poor, you're very much collateral damage. So, and it breaks across. I say, black, white, poor, whites, people, anybody can be victim if you don't have enough money. So, and I think also racism is also part of that. It's part of being broke. It's like, okay, since black people were slaves, they always had nothing and they will never have nothing. Now, if we had been known as a rich culture, it's hard. It's like when I go to Vegas right now that the Asian people have so much money, you see a Chinese person, everybody's like, oh, they're rich. The race it's hard to peg people. So I think class issues and race, they kind of intertwine, but there are straight up racists. Don't get it wrong. There are straight up sexists. Don't get it wrong. And I always say that the one way you get somebody mad about any of the isms, tell them they don't exist. That's how you get somebody mad. You tell a woman sexism doesn't exist, she might rip your head off. You know, because it does. You tell somebody racism.
That's right.
Yeah, it does. It does. But, you know, my job is trying to make people come together. I think if you really sit back and take time, we probably are all mad at the same shit.
Yeah.
We're probably all mad at the same atrocities that go on in the world. And that's what Body Count is trying to, you know, get that power back together.
And it's interesting though, man, because you know you have broken into the mainstream as an actor, as a TV personality, as a reality star, but yet you still have this incredible credibility with the underground audience. How do you balance those things?
I think it was an attempt. I never attempted to get into the mainstream. I think that the mainstream just got cooler. You know, I never really attempted it. I've always been like, kiss my ass, this, that, and the third. But what happened was, when I first came out, the powers that be, they were frightened to death. But now, when I go to a meeting, the CEO is a guy that grew up and went to college off of my music. And he's a lot hipper, and he's not afraid of Ice-T, and he puts me in a Geico commercial. You see what I'm saying? So it's a changing of the guards.
Which I have a little bone to pick with you on that. Because I bought a new car on Saturday, and I had to change over my Geico insurance to the new car.
Yeah.
$67 more a year because they have to pay big superstars like Ice-T to be in their commercials.
We're going to have him leave now. That's okay. Let's bring in your wife to do the rest of this.
All right, what I'm really mad at is that I've been doing comedy for 20 years, and he crushes it in that commercial so hard with that simple line. It's so great.
Well, you know, they call me, and like you say, in the mainstream, they call me and they want you to be in a Geico commercial. I'm like, really, me? You know, I'm taboo, you know? But then they were like, yeah, you know, the writers love you. They're big fans. And they said nobody but I. So it was a play on that. They had a commercial, Marco Polo. Now they have a new one out with Caesar standing in the salad. It's not as good as the Ice-T. So the whole thing is for them to have a word that didn't translate. So they were like, you're going to be sitting with some kids. They're selling lemonade in a neighborhood. You're going to be the parent that's watching them, but all the parents are only going to recognize you. And, you know, you're helping the kids sell lemonade. And I'm like, that's funny. Yeah. That's funny. And then they did it in a way that it was funny. I love the last guy at the end, and he's like, oh, I see. Like, that's what happens to me on the street. You know, and I'm like, man, it's lemonade. And like, you know, so it was funny. The only bad part of it is that now when I walk down the street, people yell lemonade.
I was about to say that when you first walked in, but I thought better of it. I'm looking at your gorgeous wife through the glass partition over here. You guys had a baby. Yes. And you are getting sleep because you do not have breasts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people come at me, oh, you had a baby, you know, you're getting any sleep. I'm like, I don't have any boobs. Like, what can I do? You know, like, I you know, give her like this, and Coco gets up. But our child sleeps like in a bath, like a extended bed that's connected to our bed. So when she cries, Coco just throws like a tit at her, like boom, and then she goes to sleep. And you know, we have a good baby. Like, our baby isn't a pain in the ass. It's like a really sweet child. And people, let me ask you a question. What is it with women and pregnancy hazing? Like,
what do you mean?
Oh, you about to have a baby? Oh, your life is over. You're never going to be able to wear those shoes again. Oh, forget about it. They just haze women. And out of like 10 women that do that, one will say, it's going to be the most beautiful experience you had in your life.
I don't know why that would be. I've never done that, but I've never had a baby, so.
Yeah, well, they haze, especially if it's your first baby.
Those bitches.
Yeah, if it's your first baby. So they try to haze me. Oh, it's going to be different. I'm like, I got 2 grown kids. Been there, done that. They're like, oh, and they stop. But, you know, they tried to haze her. And I told Coco, I said, look, having a pregnancy and having a baby is every woman's individual experience. Don't listen to the hype. Just have it. And she had an easy pregnancy. She had easy delivery. And we got a wonderful child. So, you know, we're very fortunate. Me, it's the best thing that could have happened at this time in my life. Muhammad Ali says when a man in his second half of his life, in his 50s, has a child, it hits a reset button on him. Wow. And it's like, yo, I can't go nowhere. Yeah. I got to be around. I got to stay healthy. I got things to do. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
More with Ice in a second.
Okay. Hey, we're back.
Come on.
Okay.
Do it cute.
Do it cute? Look at me.
It's like the fun girls book.
I got George Foster sideburns. There's nothing cute about me. But no, Sal, speaking of which, because you've done the reality show with your wife, I don't know if you're going to do any more of that. But these days, what do most people recognize you from? What's the thing now?
Well, I hate to say it, but honestly, that damn Geico commercial got more people to see me because, like, think about it. Like, if you don't buy my records, then you might. I'm not on the radio, so there you go. And if you don't watch Law and Order, then I might not be in your radar. But that commercial, whether you want to or not, is on your television. You're watching the football game. There's Ice-T. So it's coming in your show, unapologetically putting me right in your face. So that got me pretty much in everyone's dialogue, because you have the people that knew who Ice-T was, then you had other people who had to explain the commercial.
You know what's funny? This
And don't yell at him when you see him in the street.
Yeah, please.
Leave him alone. He's busy.
We were talking to you about the whole premise behind this website, and that I'm sort of newish to metal. I was a fan of the Rage Against the Machines and what was happening 20 years ago, and then it gets diluted. You've got the industry getting diluted itself. You got social media and everything's, and I met a guy who is a metal guy, and we started to go to festivals, and I was like, where have these bands been? I have never even heard of these bands before, So that's what we're trying to do. We're sort of trying to expose rock and metal, hard rock and metal, back to the mainstream on this website by doing talking a little bit more about the personalities behind the music.
They're good people, though. I go out on tours, Mayhem Fest. The funniest part about metal, you have different genres of metal. You got death metal, you got hard. And, we were out with Cannibal Corpse, and they're like some of the most brutal metal as far as OGs when it comes to death metal. But then you see their parents. So their parents are backstage, and they have on, you see, somebody's grandmother in a butchered at birth T-shirt. And it's like, no matter what my son is doing, it's okay. And then, I'm friends with Chris Barnes, who was in 6 Feet Under. So I listened to his new album, Torment, which is death metal. And I'm like, okay, I like it. I don't know if you can spend the night at my house. But yeah. But at the end of the day, when you meet all these people, they're just cool people. They're just artists, and they're trying to hit the target from different angles. Music is, it's a target. I want to hit, but there's all kinds of ways to hit the same target. Sure. You kid with smooth music, jazz music, opera music, metal, hip hop. But you're basically trying to make someone else. You're making a content that you want someone to appreciate. That's really what it is.
There are a lot of someones in the mainstream like me who I love my little pop stuff, my Taylor Swift, but hearing the music that's out today, I'm like, whoa, why have I not been hearing this on the radio? It's because you don't hear it on the radio.
The radio plays 12 records. The radio,
exactly. Drake and Rihanna and Taylor Swift.
They're most of the radio.
The classic rock.
Yeah, right. Most radio is owned by Clear Channel, which is a big corporation, and they pump 20 songs across the country. Now the new radio station is YouTube. You could, if I told you to go listen to No Lives Matter, people would go to YouTube instantly, and it would be hopefully there's a video there, and that's how people get to hear it. So YouTube is like the global radio station. Like you can click and play and hear a song. What happens is see, this is what happened. This is the death of the record store. And I had a girl over my house doing an interview, and she was like, wow, I have platinum records on the wall. She goes, you sold a lot of records. When? And I said, well, when people went to the record store. You know what she said? What's a record store? Mm-hmm.
She was a millennial, I take it.
Yeah, 21. Yeah. And I'm like, well, like not Tower. Well, like
Virgin.
No, warehouse. No.
There's these big square things. They were called LPs.
And so she goes, like Best Buy.
Oh God, yeah.
And I go, well, Best Buy I'd really rather sell you a microwave.
Yeah.
But so what happens is now, when you used to go to a record store, when you would buy such and such a record, there was a guy there say, well, if you like this, you might like this. Right. And it was someone there that kind of would steer you, and you would walk out with this many CDs. And now you don't even have to buy the album. You can just click and buy the song. So the kids today, they say that the millennial attention span is 8 seconds, which means no one's seeing this part of this interview.
And that's actually a great way to end it because our tape is running out.
Best Buy to buy your album, and he said if you like Ice-T's new album, the Body Count album, you'll also like this microwave over here. So I got your album in a microwave. Wait, let's ask him real quick. Touring? Are you going to tour on this album?
Yeah, we're gonna try to go out and gig as much as possible.
Please
do some
do.
festivals, get out there and,
Good.
and rock. So you'll see us, but
I saw you 92 Body Count with Infectious Grooves. You guys can tour with anybody. You
Yeah.
bring it harder than the hardcore.
Thank you.
you for your time.
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us.
Great meeting you.
Thank you.
We say that Black Lives Matter, but truthfully they